Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good week. It looks like we are finding ourselves here at the fourth question in the Catechism. The first three questions dealt with the foundation of the Bible and what it is and what it reveals to us. And as we find out that the Bible reveals to us who God is and what He desires, the next 9 questions or so are going to deal with who He is and what the Bible tells us about God. And so we're going to transition here into the next section of questions for the shorter catechism. And we're going to just jump right in because it's a pretty loaded question this morning. The question this morning, question number 4, what is God? It's a huge question. It's a hard question to wrap your brain around. It's a hard question to think about in a small little question and answer. And so we're just going to roll right on into it here. What is God? God is infinite and unchanging spirit. He's infinite. He never runs out of anything. He has no beginning and no end. He is an infinite and unchanging spirit. He doesn't change. He doesn't waver. He's not like you and me where we have good days and bad days. God is steady and faithful all the way through. He is unchanging. He will never turn his back on what he has said or what he has revealed. He is spirit. God is the spirit. He is not bound by time and space like you and I are. He can be everywhere at all times. It says he has no beginning and will have no ending. You can't really wrap your brain around this, but this is what makes God God. He has no start and he has no end. You and I, we can say, yeah, we were born on this day and eventually we'll die on this day. But you can't wrap your brain around the mystery of God who has no beginning and no end. And so when that God tells us something in His Word, we should listen because He is so much more than we are. He is a totally other and separate being. It says He has no beginning and no ending. And He is full of wisdom, power, holiness, justice, goodness, and truth. When it says that He's full of these things, it means that He is completely and utterly always these things. See, if you described one of your friends as funny, you would be saying, oh, a lot of times they're funny. They're not all the time funny. Sometimes they're serious. Sometimes they're just sort of lackadaisical. They don't really care much. Sometimes they're funny, though. A lot of times they're funny. But God is full of these things. And when it says that He's full of them, it means that these things really wrap up who His character is. And He is always these characteristics. He is full of wisdom. God is wisdom. Everything about Him is wise. Everything He does is wise. In His secret, unknowable wisdom, He guides and directs all things. He is power. He is full of power. There's not a single moment where God is out of sovereign control. He is sovereignly orchestrating and working and powerfully doing all things. There's not a single moment where He loses control of this world. He is full of power. He is full of holiness. That means that He is in a totally other, transcendent category than we are. Those are big words, but He is in a different category than us. He's God. We don't call Him human. We call Him God because He exists in a different category than we are. He's higher than us. He's stronger than us. He's greater than us. He's better than us. He's holy. It says that He's full of justice. Everything that God does is right and righteous. And there's not a single thing that happens where He's not out of control And there's not a single bad thing that happens where God will not make sure that justice is served. He doesn't allow for sin to just slip under the radar. But God is just, and He will do everything rightly. And ultimately we see His justice satisfied not on you and not on me, but on Jesus on the cross. He punishes wickedness in Jesus on the cross, and for those that don't accept Him, they bear that justice in hell. He is holy, He is just, He is full of goodness. You see, there's not a single thing God does that is not good. No good part or sweet part of our life or bittersweet dark parts of our life come to us without God's goodness. This is hard for us to trust, that even our suffering flows from God's goodness. But God is wise, God is just, God is powerful, and God is always, always, always good. And last here is that God is full of truth. There's not a single thing that God will ever tell us that He'll change His mind about. He never lies. He's always true. Truth and what is real in this world finds itself wrapped up in God. He is truth. He is good. He is powerful. He is all these things. He's full of them, the text says. And it's really hard to wrap our brain around these things. So I just want to close with a verse from Job 11, 7-9. Can you fathom the mysteries of God? Can you probe the limits of the Almighty? They are higher than the heavens, and what can you do? They are deeper than the depths of the grave. What can you know? We know so little of God, and truly He is so much higher than us that the depths of His mystery go so much deeper than we could ever understand. And that's the God that we serve. Who is God? He's all these things. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.